The unthinkable has happened, and the hip-hop world is in absolute shock tonight. King Harris, son of rap legend T.I., is fighting for his life in the ICU after a vicious and calculated attack behind bars. What started as another day in jail turned into a nightmare of blood, betrayal, and chaos. Witnesses say King was cornered in the common area, ambushed by multiple inmates in a brawl so violent that guards couldn't control it. By the time the dust settled, King lay unconscious, bleeding, and gasping for air, and the heartbreak doesn't stop there. T.I., the man known as the King of the South, was seen breaking down in tears outside the hospital, pleading desperately for his son's life. Tiny clutched his arm, sobbing as fans and paparazzi swarmed the scene. Rumors are already swirling that this wasn't just a fight, it was a setup. A targeted move to silence King Harris, fueled by jealousy, gang politics, and his celebrity spotlight. Now the world is demanding answers. Who ordered the attack? Why wasn't King protected? And most importantly, will he survive? The news hit the streets like a bombshell, and fans across the world are still reeling. King Harris, the outspoken son of rap icon T.I. and reality TV star Tiny, was rushed to the hospital after a savage attack inside the jail. This wasn't some scuffle over commissary food or a petty argument over respect. No, insiders are calling it one of the most deliberate, brutal assaults they've seen in years, according to leaked reports from guards on duty. The fight was orchestrated. Multiple inmates surrounded King in the rec yard, pretending to play cards, pretending to laugh, pretending everything was normal until the moment came. Suddenly, one grabbed King from behind, while another landed a punch so hard it dropped him to the ground instantly. Within seconds, fists, kicks, and even makeshift weapons were raining down on him. King's cries for help echoed through the block, but the guards were outnumbered. By the time backup arrived, the damage was catastrophic. Paramedics rushed in, and sources say King wasn't even moving. Blood pooled beneath him, and his breathing was faint. Other inmates screamed that he wasn't going to make it, while one even tried to record the scene on a contraband phone, a clip that's now rumored to be circulating online. The idea that this footage could leak onto social media has already sparked an FBI review of the prison's security. As soon as news broke, T.I. was reportedly at home in Atlanta when the call came. Insiders claim he dropped the phone mid-conversation, his face turning pale, before screaming, "Not my son, not King." Tiny, hearing the chaos, rushed into the room, only to find T.I. grabbing his keys, storming out and shouting at anyone who tried to calm him down. Witnesses say he drove recklessly, running red lights, speeding towards the hospital where King had been rushed in critical condition. The moment he arrived, chaos unfolded in the ER lobby. Paparazzi were already there, cameras flashing as T.I. broke down in tears, yelling at doctors and begging them to save his son. Tiny clutched his arm, sobbing uncontrollably, while family friends tried to keep the growing crowd of reporters at bay. Now here's where things get even more shocking. Anonymous insiders from inside the jail are already leaking whispers that this wasn't just a fight. This was a targeted hit. One correctional officer allegedly overheard two inmates bragging that the order came from the top. But whose top? Was this gang retaliation? Was this a message to T.I. himself? Or was King involved in something behind bars that spiraled out of control? Social media immediately exploded. On Twitter, hashtags like #PrayForKing and #JusticeForKing Harris shot to the top trending list within minutes. Fans uploaded clips from King's old Instagram lives where he bragged about being tough and able to handle jail if it ever came to that. Those videos, once laughed off, now seem eerie in hindsight. People are posting side-by-side edits of his old bravado next to footage of T.I. breaking down at the hospital, creating a storm of sympathy and criticism online. But then came the twist nobody saw coming: leaked hospital audio. Someone inside the ICU, possibly a nurse. ALLEGEDLY recorded T.I.'s desperate cries when doctors told him King was in critical condition. The clip, now going viral on TikTok, captures T.I. screaming, "That's my boy, don't you let him die. Please God, don't take him." The raw emotion shook fans to their core, leaving many commenting that they'd never seen the usually composed T. I like this. Meanwhile, the Harris family is reportedly in shambles. Tiny has refused to leave the hospital, sleeping in a chair beside the ICU window. Zonique, King's older sister, broke down in tears during an Instagram Live, asking fans for prayers and angrily demanding to know why her brother wasn't being protected inside the jail. "This system failed him," she said through sobs. "They let him get jumped like he's nothing. But he's somebody. He's my brother." The bigger question now is, why was King targeted? Sources claim King recently got into an argument with another inmate over phone access. Others allege it was deeper, that King's celebrity status made him a target from the moment he walked in. One insider even suggested that certain guards looked the other way during the attack, sparking rumors of corruption inside the jail. And just when fans thought they couldn't handle more, another bombshell dropped. According to a prison informant, King had been receiving threats for weeks. Messages were reportedly slipped under his cell door, warning him that the spotlight won't save you and your daddy can't protect you in here. These chilling notes paint a picture of a planned ambush. 1. King may have seen coming, but couldn't escape. Back outside the hospital, things escalated further. Dozens of fans gathered, chanting King's name, holding signs, and even playing T.I.'s old tracks as a tribute. At one point, police had to intervene after tensions rose between fans and paparazzi who were accused of being disrespectful, trying to profit off the Harris family's pain. And here's where it gets chilling. Did he? 50 Cent and other rap heavyweights began posting cryptic messages online. 50 Cent wrote, "You can have all the money in the world, but the streets don't care. Protect your kids." Many interpreted this as a shot at T.I., suggesting that King's tough guy persona made him a target. Meanwhile, Diddy posted a simple candle emoji with the words, "Prayers up for the young King," sparking debates over whether he was being spurred, genuine, or trying to insert himself into the narrative. By the end of the night, news stations were already running with the headline, "King Harris in critical condition after brutal jail attack." And yet, with all the chaos, unanswered questions remain. Who orchestrated the attack? Was King the victim of random violence? Or is there a bigger conspiracy lurking inside those prison walls? As one anonymous guard chillingly told reporters, "This wasn't just a fight. This was a message." The hospital corridors were thick with tension. Security had to form a human wall just to keep the press from barging through. As family members rushed in and out of the ICU, inside, King Harris lay surrounded by tubes, wires, and a team of doctors fighting to stabilize him. The scene was so intense that one insider described it as something out of a movie, only worse, 'cause it was real. But the chaos didn't stop at the hospital. Social media was already ablaze with speculation and blame. Fans began pointing fingers at the jail system, accusing it of negligence. Others turned their anger toward King himself, calling him reckless for flaunting his tough image online before his arrest. Screenshots of King's past lives where he'd bragged, laughed, and claimed he wasn't scared of jail resurfaced with brutal captions like, "Now look where that bravado got him. Now look where that bravado got him." Then came the leak that sent shockwaves. A 30-second cell phone video from inside the jail hit Twitter. The clip, grainy but horrifying, showed a group of inmates cornering someone in the yard. A voice can be heard shouting, "That's him," before fists and kicks flew. The screen shakes as the person filming rushes forward. And though faces are blurred, the outline of King Harris is unmistakable. Fans froze as they watched the brutal footage, The kind of video too graphic to air on TV but spreading like wildfire across the internet within hours. Hashtags like #JusticeForKing and #ProtectOurKidsInJail were trending worldwide. Celebrities began weighing in. Meek Mill, no stranger to prison life, tweeted, "This is what happens when the system fails young men. They don't protect, they punish." Cardi B posted a heartbroken emoji with the words, "Praying for King and the Harris family. This is too much." But it was 50 Cent's post that stirred the biggest firestorm. He shared a still from the leaked video with the caption, "When you think you tough, the streets remind you." Ain't no cameras, ain't no bodyguards in there. Fans were outraged, calling the post insensitive, while others said 50 was just telling the harsh truth. The comments section exploded with tens of thousands of replies, dragging the feud between 50 and T.I. back into the spotlight. Meanwhile, inside the hospital, T.I. was falling apart. According to whispers from nurses, the rap mogul erupted when doctors said King's chances were uncertain. Witnesses say he slammed his fists against the wall, screaming, "I won't bury my son. Not my boy, not like this." His breakdown was so raw that even hospital staff were seen crying. Tiny tried to console him, but she herself collapsed into tears, clutching a Bible and praying aloud for King's survival. And then came another twist. Leaked audio recording of a phone call between King and a family member just days before the attack. In the call, King can be heard saying, "They watching me in here. I can feel it. Somebody wants me gone, but I ain't scared. I'm Harris Blood." That chilling line now played on blogs and podcasts everywhere, convinced fans that the ambush wasn't random. Speculation turned into conspiracy theories. Some claimed rival gangs targeted King to make a statement. Others believed it was retaliation for something tied to T.I.'s own history. One particularly wild rumor even suggested corrupt guards were paid to look the other way during the fight. And while no official source confirmed these theories, the silence from the jail authorities only fueled the fire. Back at the ICU, family members gathered. Zonique posted a photo of her hand holding King's, captioned simply, "Don't leave me, little bro." The image racked up millions of likes within hours. Damani King's brother reportedly confronted T.I. in the hospital hallway, yelling, "You should have done more to protect him. He wasn't ready for jail, and you knew it." The argument nearly turned physical before relatives pulled them apart. The Harris family, usually united in the public eye, was suddenly fractured and full of blame. As if that wasn't enough, rumors swirled that a high-profile rap beef may have indirectly sparked the attack. A popular gossip site claimed King had mouthed off about another rapper's crew while on a jail call, and word spread through the prison like wildfire. By the time the clip reached the wrong ears, a plan was already in motion to make him pay for the disrespect. Whether true or not, the story was so juicy that it dominated YouTube channels, with creators analyzing every second of King's past interviews, searching for clues. And then came the breaking news segment that nobody expected. Reporters outside the hospital shouted into their mics as police cars arrived. The reason? A group of angry fans had stormed the prison gates earlier that afternoon, demanding justice for King. They held signs, chanted his name, and even clashed with officers. Videos of the protests quickly spread, adding more fuel to the media circus. By nightfall, everything felt like a pressure cooker ready to explode. The Harris family was broken, social media was in flames, and the question lingered: who wanted King Harris silenced, and why? But just when it seemed the drama couldn't escalate further, whispers from inside the hospital revealed one last chilling detail. King had briefly regained consciousness. According to a nurse's leaked note, his first words were, "Tell my daddy it wasn't just a fight. They set me up." That single line set the world on fire. Set him up. Who? Why? And how deep does this conspiracy go? The next chapter would leave fans desperate for answers. The moment King Harris's chilling words leaked, "They set me up," everything shifted. What had been framed as a jailhouse brawl suddenly turned into a full-blown conspiracy. Fans, bloggers, and even mainstream news anchors latched onto the statement, demanding answers about who orchestrated the attack and why. T.I., already broken by his son's condition, erupted with fury. Witnesses say he stormed out of the hospital and confronted law enforcement directly, demanding an investigation. "You mean to tell me my boy got ambushed and y'all don't know who did it? I want names, I want answers, and I want them now." His voice cracked, raw with rage and desperation, as officers struggled to calm him down. Meanwhile, inside the ICU, Tiny never left King's side. She clutched his hand, whispering prayers while tears streaked her face. Family members gathered around, but even in the midst of the pain, arguments flared. Some relatives whispered that T.I.'s past feuds may have put King in danger. Others blamed the prison system for failing to protect a high-profile inmate. The Harris family, once united by music and fame, now found itself divided by grief and suspicion. As the drama unfolded, new bombshells began to surface. A second video leaked online, this time from the prison's security cameras. Though grainy, it clearly showed multiple inmates surrounding King while guards stood frozen, doing nothing. Even worse, some claimed the guards looked away, almost as if they'd been warned to let it happen. The footage sparked outrage. Twitter timelines filled with accusations of corruption. Instagram Reels labeled the clip with captions like "proof of a setup" and "justice for King Harris now." Celebrities weighed in even harder. Boosie went live on Instagram, yelling, "They tryna take T.I.'s son out. This ain't no accident. This is deeper than rap." Rick Ross posted a cryptic story. "Sometimes the biggest enemies are the ones wearing uniforms." Even Snoop Dogg chimed in with, "Protect our young kings, the system don't care about us." But then came the most shocking revelation yet. A leaked text message exchange, allegedly between two inmates, circulated online. The text suggested King was marked days before the attack. One message read, "We handle him Friday. Make sure the guard's cool with it, if true." It meant King's ambush wasn't just random violence. It was planned, coordinated, and approved by people who were supposed to keep him safe. The Harris family was furious. T.I. threatened to sue the prison, the state, and anyone else involved. In an emotional statement captured by paparazzi outside the hospital, he shouted, "If the system can't protect my son, then the system is guilty too. This don't end here. Somebody gon' pay for this." Meanwhile, Tiny's heartbreak turned into resolve. Friends close to her revealed that she was planning to launch a nationwide campaign for prison reform, using King's case as a rallying cry. She reportedly told confidants, "If my baby makes it out of this, I'm gonna make sure no other family goes through what we did." But the chaos didn't stop there. In the middle of the storm, a bizarre Twitter Spaces conversation went viral. Anonymous users claimed to be ex-prison guards, dropping shocking allegations that certain celebrities had enemies behind bars. And King was just the first warning. The conversation trended for hours, feeding speculation that King's attack was tied to larger beefs in the hip-hop world, and maybe even T.I.'s past. By the third night, fans camped outside the hospital, holding vigils with candles, posters, and prayers for King's recovery. Videos of fans chanting, "Stay strong, King," racked up millions of views on TikTok. Some even showed strangers breaking down in tears, saying they felt like King was their own little brother. The outpouring of love only fueled T.I.'s determination to uncover the truth. Then, just as the world braced for either a miracle or tragedy, King opened his eyes. Though weak and barely able to speak, he whispered again to his father, "Daddy, they wanted me gone." Those words, overheard by a nurse and immediately leaked online, ignited the final explosion of speculation. Who exactly wanted King Harris gone? And what did they stand to gain? In a moment, captured by paparazzi, T.I. broke down outside the hospital once more. Clutching his chest, he sobbed, "My boy ain't safe, not even locked up. If I gotta burn the whole system down to protect my family, then that's what I'ma do." His vow went viral, replayed on every gossip channel and dissected on every podcast. The Harris family saga had become bigger than just one tragic attack. It was now a story of power, corruption, betrayal, and survival. And the cliffhanger looming over everyone's minds was brutal. Would King Harris survive long enough to reveal who set him up? Or would the truth be buried forever? The world was left holding its breath, and now the entire world is waiting for answers. King Harris lies in a hospital bed fighting for his life, while whispers of betrayal, corruption, and setup swirl like wildfire across every social media feed. T.I. is demanding justice. Tiny is praying for her son's survival. And fans are holding vigils, begging for a miracle. But one question hangs heavy over everything. Who really wanted King Harris silenced? Is this about street politics inside the jail? A revenge hit tied to T.I.'s past? Or something darker, involving guards and higher powers willing to look the other way? No one knows for sure, but one thing is undeniable. The Harris family will never be the same again. And here's where you come in. What do you think really happened to King Harris? Was it just another jail fight gone wrong? Or was this a targeted hit with layers we haven't even uncovered yet? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because your voice matters in keeping this conversation alive. If you're as shocked, heartbroken, and furious as the rest of us, then don't just scroll away. Hit that like button, smash subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss the next chapter in this unfolding tragedy. We're bringing you the latest leaks, the rawest insider whispers, and the truth the system doesn't want exposed. This story is bigger than gossip. It's about family, survival, and the fight for justice. And trust me, the next updates will be even more explosive. Stay tuned, stay locked in, and let's demand answers together. Because if you miss what's coming next, you'll be the last to know when the truth finally erupts.